On tonight's broadcast, an investigation commences after a black gold transport truck slips off the Richardson Highway, spilling a load of unprocessed ore from Moncho Mine. Plus, President-elect Donald Trump announces his selection for Secretary of the Interior, ending speculation that Governor Dunleavy could receive that nomination. We'll have his reaction. Newscenter Fairbanks starts right now.
From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is Newscenter Fairbanks at 5.
Welcome to Newscenter Fairbanks. Today is Friday, November 15th. I'm Alex Bengel. Thank you for joining us. Leading our news tonight, a black gold transport vehicle slid off the Richardson Highway and rolled into the ditch this morning at around 8:40 a.m. near milepost 301, just south of Birch Lake. The truck was driving northbound at the time with a full load of ore from Moncho Mine, which dumped from both trailers. The driver was not injured and no other vehicles were involved in the crash. Black Gold Transport says that the ore, which is still in its natural rock state, will be recovered completely and processed as normal. Alaska State Troopers say the highway was closed for 1 hour while Salcha Fire and Rescue responded to help recover the truck from the ditch. Troopers say that no citations have currently been issued and the investigation is ongoing. In other news, the Alaska court system is sending out 8,000 jury summons over the next few weeks and issuing a warning about jury duty scams. Scammers often threaten arrest for missing jury duty or demand payment to avoid jail time. A Superior Court judge is reminding Alaskans that jury duty notices typically arrive by email or mail, and no one will be arrested for failing to appear.
This is the way the court system sends out a request for you to serve as a juror. We don't call you, we don't ask for money, we don't threaten you with jail, those types of things. We will send you an email based upon information we get from the PFT list.
In other news, President-elect Donald Trump continues to pick loyalists to fill key positions in his second administration. And last night, he announced North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum as his pick for Secretary of the Interior. Burgum's nomination ends any speculation about Alaska Governor Mike Dunleavy moving into that position. Dunleavy's office confirmed he was not in Florida for the president-elect's speech last night. When asked if Dunleavy has spoken with Trump or his transition team about a role in the new administration, like Energy Secretary, a spokesperson said there's no information to share at this time. But regarding Burgum's appointment, in a statement on X last night, Dunleavy congratulated him, saying Doug Burgum is a fantastic pick for Secretary of the Interior. Doug's experience as governor of North Dakota and in the private sector will be invaluable in pushing the president's agenda regarding more oil, gas, coal, and critical minerals and rare earths. Alaska stands to benefit greatly with Doug at the helm of the Department of Interior. Switching topics, an Alaska Airlines flight made an emergency landing at LAX last night after a main gear tire failure. As a precaution, pilots officially declared an emergency landing in order to mobilize extra ground support should it be needed. Alaska Airlines' statement said there were 175 passengers and 6 crew members aboard Flight 309. The aircraft landed safely at 8:10 p.m., and officials said no one was injured. The airline said the incident is a rare occurrence and apologized to customers. Alaska Airlines also noted that an investigation into the cause of the tire malfunction is underway and the aircraft will be pulled from service. Turning back to Alaska, the Bureau of Land Management finalized a new recreation area management plan today for the 4,700-acre Kastner Glacier area, 48 miles outside of Delta Junction. The updated plan makes a substantial change to the number of commercial special recreation permits allowed in the area, bumping that number up from a maximum of 4 to a maximum of 15. That type of permit enables businesses and organizations to use public land or waters for commercial purposes. The BLM says the increase is a response to growing interest from commercial groups and tours at the popular hiking and recreation spot. In other news, a proposed pilot program would arm 3 of Tanana Chief Conference's 14 village public safety officers. The program came before TCC's full board of directors for their consideration yesterday and today at the Westmark Hotel in Fairbanks. TCC is one of 10 VPSO state contractors statewide. 9 of them are nonprofit corporations, with the other being the Northwest Arctic Borough. Arming VPSOs became legal in 2014, and in April of this year, the Northwest Arctic Borough became the first organization to arm a VPSO since 2015. TC says executing their new pilot program would require updating 12 of their existing policies and cost about $20,000. Tribal delegates treated the idea with gravity, weighing the public safety advantages of firearms against the possibility for misuse.
This is a big deal for the organization, I think, with now, knowing that, for instance, you have liability that's going to be involved, and also people's lives, not only the officers, but people out there in the rural areas.
Multiple delegates said they'd like to postpone passage of the pilot program so that they could take more time to consult with their respective councils, and the board of directors ultimately decided to delay the vote until their annual meeting in March, when the program will appear on the agenda as a new resolution. Well, folks, coming up, small changes, big impact. A look at West Valley program aiming to make the school less wasteful. Stay tuned.
Doctors Neil Evers.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Today is National Recycling Day, and a group of students at West Valley High School are getting into the spirit this week with a program designed to make their school less wasteful. We caught up with the group earlier this week as they celebrated a milestone in their years-long effort. On Monday, 6 students from West Valley High School gathered with their advisor and members of the community at the Central Recycling Facility to witness the fruits of their labor.
It's gone really well. These students are highly motivated.
Their task? To step up West Valley's recycling game.
The goal is to really spread awareness of kind of like the steps that students can do to help recycle and kind of help reduce the amount of waste that could otherwise be going back into reusable products from going straight to the landfill.
Using a dumpster provided by Golden Heart Waste Management and funding through Explore Fairbanks, these members of the Climate Defense League are better able to gather more materials for recycling at their school.
We've been able to expand our recycling program from paper and cardboard to aluminum and plastic, and we've also been given access to a large dumpster that's being emptied.
The effort involved collecting recycling from around the school and sorting it, activities that are often completed during an advisory period.
All of the teachers have been really receptive to the program, and most of the students have been too.
This recycling load represents a month's work for the students. All told, the haul weighed 500 pounds.
It's showing all this waste that we're diverting and instead turning towards good.
For the group's co-president, this represents a triumph years in the making.
We want to do what we can to kind of spread awareness about how the school district could be sending this stuff straight to the recycling center instead of all of it going to the landfill.
And the program at West Valley is only expected to get bigger. If this pilot program succeeds, there are plans to move it to more schools across the district.
We're going to collect the data and see where we're at and see if this could be expanded district-wide.
We're hoping that the school district's going to look at it and decide that recycling is definitely a positive thing for them to start doing in all the schools.
For now, the students maintain their commitment to keep the momentum going.
It's definitely been a really fun program, and it's been really cool to be able to see the difference that we've been able to make in our school and in our community.
I'm Alex Bengel, reporting for Newscenter Fairbanks. In other news, for the 3rd year in a row, a large gathering of families congregated at Weller Elementary School yesterday to celebrate Native American Heritage Month with a fiddle dance and moose stew dinner. It's an event that came to existence through a partnership with the Alaska Native Education Department. The Alaska Native Education team helped bring in performers and has assisted with teaching classes to the kids each year.
It was great. We had 2 classes at a time in the gym, and they all kind of warmed up together, and then the natives helped us kind of shift the dances and make them easy enough for our kids to do, and then they kind of supported us those first 2 weeks when we did it our first year, and it was so great. Like, it was busy on the dance floor during the dance, and all the elders were there, and it was so awesome. And then this year we did it only for a week, and it seemed a lot smoother because we hit it so hard last year, and it's just great. Like, now our dance floor is full the whole time we do the fiddle dance, so it's awesome.
The event was packed, as was the parking lot, as dozens of families came out to take part in dances and dinner. The 4-member band played music from 5 to 7 p.m., and kids were able to get out on the dance floor in groups as the school staff helped guide them through various dances they had practiced earlier in the week.
My favorite part is seeing our families come together and enjoy each other and with company. It's like we're one big happy family here at Weller.
My favorite part is just, the laughs and giggles we share as we're dancing. It's not about who you're dancing with or where they're from. We're just all having fun together. The duck dance, we're all quacking and messing around. The rabbit dance, we're chasing each other. Like, there's so many laughs we share, from kindergarten to 5th grade, just all together.
I think my favorite part is like people being proud of their heritage. We have a lot of Alaskan Native students that go to Weller, and when we say, hey, this dance is traditionally done by Athabaskan or Gwich'in people, we always have students that are like, I'm Athabaskan or I'm Gwich'in, and they're just like so proud of that fact, and they're like happy to share it.
Coming up, surf's up in the sky. Dan Smith has his head in the clouds, showing us how those weird wavy ones can form. Moment of Science is on the way. Welcome back, everyone, and thanks for staying with us. Come January, Republicans will control the White House, the House of Representatives, and the Senate. For the 119th Congress, House Democrats will have at least 2 more seats next session than they did for the current Congress. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says his party worked hard but came up short during the election. Our D.C. Bureau's Ryan Henson asked Jeffries about his party's minority status.
What is Democrats' strategy to combat Trump's agenda, not only between now and January, but also, next session as well?
We're going to have a unique role as House Democrats to make sure that we are partnering with the incoming administration, when possible, to make a difference in the lives of the American people, while pushing back against far-right extremism whenever necessary. And that's a team effort.
Jeffries is expected to win a second term as minority leader when his party holds leadership elections on Tuesday. The simple change that could add 5 years to your life, and signs that America's obesity epidemic could get even worse. Michael George has the day's top health stories.
Obesity in America has risen drastically in the last 30 years and could be on track to rise even higher. A study in The Lancet found in many states more than half of young men and women are considered overweight or obese, including 15 million children. The study's authors say if the problem isn't addressed, the U.S. could reach more than 250 million obese people by 2050. A common diabetes medication could help reduce alcohol use. A study by the University of Nottingham found GLP-1 receptor agonists can target the brain's reward center. Patients taking them were 29% more likely to cut back on drinking and showed fewer alcohol-related health problems. People over 40 could add 5 years to their lives if they exercised a lot more. A study published by the British Journal of Sports Medicine found if Americans exercised as much as the most active people do, which would mean walking daily for roughly 2 hours and 40 minutes, most people would live 5 years longer. The least active Americans could add nearly 11 years to their lives. Those are some of the day's top health stories.
Thank you for that report. Catching some waves without a surfboard. Dan Smith has a look at a rare type of cloud in this week's Moment of Science.
They're a weird sight to see in the sky if you're lucky enough to see them. This week, it's a brief primer on Kelvin Helmholtz clouds, or KH clouds, or fluctus clouds. There's lots of names for the same thing. Back in 1868, Hermann von Helmholtz not only had one of the best scientist names to date, but also realized a weird thing about fluid dynamics. In his words, every perfect geometrically sharp edge by which a fluid flows must tear it asunder and establish a surface of separation. In plain English, wind shear, where fluid moving at different speeds or directions, or both, causes eddies and spin-ups. Think of it like a paddle pushed through the water, causing rotation on either side. It's the same thing we look at for tornado potential, albeit with much different results. Anyway, a few years later, Lord Kelvin did the math on the whole thing while figuring out how ocean wind waves worked. Let's start with two fluid masses going in the complete opposite direction of each other. And yes, air is a fluid, just not a liquid. That flow will always have little disturbances and friction associated with it, and it starts scooping one mass over the other. Voila, your waves are formed. You need ideal conditions on windy days to get these going, and the cloud type itself doesn't actually matter. Cirrus, cumulus, stratus, all of them are part of a fluid environment. They're also a good sign of turbulence way up there, so as tempting as it might be to fly closer, pilots tend to avoid such a rocky atmosphere. Now, these wavy sites are usually short-lived and on fairly small scales, though some larger systems passing over mountain ranges can get enough turbulence going. By the way, remember Lord Kelvin with his ocean waves? There's your clue that this phenomenon is not just relegated to the sky. Fast air moving over slow water whips up those surface waves. You can even see KH instabilities on other planets, like in the Great Red Spot of Jupiter. That massive storm is a subject for another day. For this week's Moment of Science, I'm Dan Smith.
Thank you, Dan. Meanwhile, folks, we've got Amanda Hanson with your full weather forecast coming up next. Stay tuned.
Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Let's go ahead and take a look at the almanac for today. We saw 12 for our high with some mostly cloudy skies. Our sunrise was at 9:29 a.m., sunset at 3:42 p.m. with a total daylight of 6 hours and 13 minutes, which was around 6 minutes and 29 seconds less than yesterday. Let's go ahead and take a look at the records for today. Well, we saw temperatures in the 40s. 42 was the record high in 1961. The record low was 35 below zero in 2011. The average high is 12.4 degrees and the average low is 3.9 degrees below zero. Taking a look at our satellite radar for Alaska, we're seeing that system that we saw in the Bering Sea is losing some momentum, and that activity that they saw in Bethel has cleared. So we're seeing some clearer skies and no more blizzard warnings in that area on the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta. Also for the Alaska Peninsula, it has cleared up as well, but we're still going to be seeing some rain and some snow in the eastern portion of the Alaska Peninsula heading into South Central, with some snow pretty much for South Central pretty much from now until Sunday. We're also going to be seeing some rain, still some pretty moderate to heavy rain in the Panhandle for the majority of the Panhandle, but particularly on the coast. And we're going to see some snow as well on higher elevations in the Panhandle as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at, for the interior, we saw today some scattered snow showers and cloudy skies for the majority of the day, but that cleared up. And let's go ahead and take a look at tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow night to see what we have going on. So tonight, we're going to see a high of 1 degree with some snow likely and some calm winds. And then tomorrow, we're going to see temperatures around 8 above with some snow likely and some calm winds here. And then tomorrow night, we're going to see an overnight low of 1 below zero with some calm wind and some snow likely. And with all this snow that we're going to be getting tomorrow, that means the roads are going to be very, very slick. So we want to make sure that everybody drives carefully with this snow. It's still pretty slick in a lot of areas downtown and some areas actually in North Pole as well. So with the snow, we're going to want to make sure that we are going nice and slow. Get your headlights on, change any headlights that are out. I'm seeing a lot of that. My car included, actually. I need to change my headlight on Sunday. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the extended forecast for the rest of the week heading into the weekend. So we're going to see, again, some snow likely on Saturday. And we're seeing it was a little bit warmer for the forecast on yesterday, but now we're seeing temperatures slightly cooler for the weekend than what we saw yesterday. So 8 above is the high for tomorrow. And then we're going to see those temps dip down Sunday to 2 above, and then some partly sunny skies. And again, when we see that sunshine, that means we're going to see some cooler temperatures, and the overnight lows are absolutely reflecting that. So we're going to see 17 below from Sunday to Monday, and then temps are going to drop down to almost 30 below on Monday with 27 below. And then we're going to see, even on Tuesday, it's going to still be a little bit warmer, a nice balmy 15 below for Tuesday. And then we're going to see the highs start to go back into above 0 starting on Wednesday. And then we're going to see some mostly cloudy skies pretty much Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then we're going to see also, we might see some snow on Thursday and Friday. So with those mostly cloudies on Thursday and Friday, it's a small, like 20% chance of snow for those days as well. And then we're going to see temperatures going to increase a little bit by Thursday and Friday. And it looks like it's going to kind of hang around that in those teens from what I'm seeing of a 10-day forecast. But, you know, the closer we get to that, we will absolutely report it for you guys. Overnight lows, again, are going to range from 27 below to 2 above. But like I always say, it doesn't matter the conditions or the temperatures. It's always beautiful in the interior.
Thank you, Amanda. It certainly is. Well, folks, before we close the show tonight, I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about some changes in our newscasts. Now, as you may or may not have heard, Newscenter Fairbanks is joining with Alaska's News Source, our sister station in Anchorage. So what does that mean for you? Well, I will continue to report on the stories that impact you right here in Fairbanks. However, I will be stepping away from the anchor desk. It has been an absolute honor and a privilege to present your local news every night over the past 4.5 years. As always, I hope to see you around Fairbanks, both as a reporter and as a member of our community. I look forward to sharing even more of your story. Folks, have a wonderful night and a great weekend. And as always, thank you so much for choosing Newscenter Fairbanks as your source for news. From all of us here at Newscenter Fairbanks, I'm Alex Bengel. Have a wonderful night.